Do you always seem to feel tired no matter how much rest you give your body? You're doing all the right things you should. You're eating healthy, you're sleeping 8 to 9 hours a night, but you still struggle to get through a day of work without feeling exhausted. Unfortunately, you're not alone in this one. 1 in 5 people around the globe report persistent feelings of very tired or exhausted. This is pretty crazy, but it doesn't have to be your reality. Today in this video, I'm going to show you that you don't have a problem with your energy, you have a problem with your capacity. Okay, so we're going to look at this from two different angles. First, we're going to look at the bucket analogy, and then we're going to look at the battery analogy. So with the bucket, you need to think of your body as a big empty bucket. Anytime anything stressful, challenging, difficult happens, it pours into your bucket, and your bucket starts to fill up and up and up and up and up and up and up until eventually your bucket gets full. And what happens when your bucket starts to overflow is we can't function in the world anymore. We just have had enough. Anything that comes up socially, we can't deal with. Cooking dinner, dishes, absolutely not. We're going to order in and then we're just going to throw the takeaway containers out on the road because we just don't have capacity for anything else. So we have this bucket and it's full, and things that we can do to empty this bucket would be, say, sleep, go get a massage, lay on the ground, do some stretches, do some deep breathing, all these sort of amazing practices that help us come back to baseline, and it can help us empty our bucket out a little bit. And this is what a lot of people will do, is they have this bucket that fills up and then they empty it all the ways that they can do that. And so that's the bucket. And then over here, we also have the battery. So you think about your body as a battery, and maybe it's one of those little AAA batteries that, you put two of them inside a remote control for your air conditioner to keep your environment nice and cool. And so every time you have to go to work, or you have to go to a social event, or you have to, do something for your children, you are draining that battery a little bit by little bit by little bit. And then the way that you recharge your battery is doing something relaxing, eating some food, laying on the couch, laying on the ground, having a sleep. And then we can recharge our batteries all the way full, and then we're ready to go. But the thing is, with both of these two analogies, is most people are trying to empty that bucket as much as possible or recharge that battery as much as possible. But there's not enough time in the day to get them back to baseline. It only really works in the short term, because eventually life is going to get more and more challenging and you're just going to have to step it up. And so what I'm talking about in this video here is how we are going to increase the size of our bucket and increase the size of our battery. So instead of those little AAAs, we're going to try and get ourselves a nice car battery so we can just go forever. All right, so how are we going to do this? We're going to do that by training our physical body, training strength, training cardiovascular, training endurance. And all of these things are going to carry over into our daily life and make everything easier. And I know what you're saying. How does doing a bicep curl make me have more energy? It just seems like if I was to go to the gym, then that would take energy away from me. And I get what you're saying. If you are someone who hasn't trained a physical practice before, that is probably what's going to pop into your head first. But hear me out. I have loads of real world experience from myself, other clients, and studies to back it up. This is going to be your way to increase your energy and physical capacity. All right, so let us think about what we do on a daily, weekly basis. We're probably walking, standing, sitting, we're carrying, we're lifting, we're cleaning, we're doing all these different things that require us to be standing and rotating our body and using our arms and using our core. And every single time our body moves, even me just doing like this, I am using energy. I'm using the muscles of my fingers. That requires oxygen to go in through my lungs, into my blood, and that is working there. So why would it not help for us to go and train things like squatting, hinging at our hips, training our arms and our chest, making those things stronger? When we go to use them after a month or two of training, these things are going to become easier because every single time we challenge our muscle, we pick up a heavy thing and the resistance of the heavy thing is up against the muscle has to work hard to move, and then we drop it back down. The body is really smart, and so it doesn't want to feel challenged anymore, and so we're going to go to sleep, maybe that night, maybe the day after. The body's going to recover and it's going to become a little bit stronger because it doesn't want to get challenged like that again because it was stressful. So if we do this over and over with our arms, with our legs, with our hips, especially with our core, we are then going to be able to go and walk through daily life, easy peasy tasks such as just standing up, doing the dishes, getting down, putting our shoes on. These things become more simple because we've gone into a place, either it be outside of our house or a gym, and we've put our energy into actually strengthening our muscles. The rest of our lives become easier. I'm currently working with a client who is very, very new to training, and we're doing very simple movements, lots of compound movements, even so much so the weight that she's lifting in an overhead press is 2 kilos in each hand. It is, to most, comically light, but to her, it's working. So every month she has an event that she has to run after her full day of work. Normally the day after that event, because it's quite socially taxing, she'll have to call in and work from home. This week, she managed to go into work, it was all good, and she put it down to her physical body being stronger, felt like she had the capacity to then go to work the next day as if nothing else had happened the day before. So even though I've seen this in tons of my clients and in myself, this isn't just a case of trust me, bro. There are bunches of articles where people have done studies on groups of people. They've given them minimal resistance training like once or twice a week, and they've still seen rises in that energy and capacity for daily life. So that brings me on to my next topic is how much do you actually have to do to feel these changes in your body? And the answer is not a hell of a lot. Some of these studies were talking about 11 minutes per session, 2 sessions a week. If you had more time than that, I would definitely recommend moving more than that because movement is really fun and the more we do, the better. But if you're pressed for time and you're worried that you can't adhere to a 5 to 6 day program a week, well, if I can't do that, then why would I do anything at all? Just chill. Couple times a week, that's all my client was doing. She's still only doing 2 30-minute sessions a week, and she's noticed these changes in her energy in literally a month. So minimum effective dose is not much at all. So Joel, what should I focus on in these 2 sessions a week? Glad you asked. In these sessions, if you only have about 30 minutes at a time, you really want to be focusing mainly on building up your core, your lower body, and some of your upper body movements. This isn't a sort of workout that you're going to go in, absolutely smash yourself, be huffing and puffing, and be covered in sweat. We're looking at building your base from the ground up. This is foundational stuff. These are big compound movements, don't have to be done with heavy weights at all, but multi-joint movements that are relating to daily life. Think about things that you're normally doing. You're getting up off the ground, you're squatting, you're pushing yourself away from things, you're carrying things. These are the things that you want to train that are going to help strengthen all the ways that you move in your daily life and give you this awesome feeling of energy and fullness throughout the day. Just to wrap everything up, we all are experiencing life different. We all have buckets that are different sizes, batteries that are different sizes, but that doesn't mean you are destined, you are determined to live the rest of your life out like this. You can increase the size of your own bucket, and the way that you do this is through strength training. So, there is no time like the present. If you don't feel ready, you don't have the perfect workout, I say it doesn't matter. Just start moving, start doing something that feels challenging to you, and I guarantee you, you will start feeling the benefits in your body. Things will start to become easier when you build a body that can handle life better.